Mondays and Wednesdays. But we're together and we're answering the listener questions. Rikki and Pam are here, ready to take on questions. So if you have them, put them in the chat below and we will get to those. We have some in the inbox as well. And stick around because we're going to do a Friday show as well. We think it's going to be fun, and this is one you can participate in. Let us know you're here. We'll make sure we're live, and we'll get cracking here in just a second. Check. Go to Facebook.
Oh, I should probably.
And, yep, we're live. Let's see the comments. I should have seen here. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, there it is. Dan's here. Woo, 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 woo.
There we go.
All right, let's crack. Let's crack some questions, not heads.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Cracking heads. That's what my coaches always used to say. Time to crack some heads. Like, dude, not mine.
No, thank you.
Here we go. We got a question about shoes to start off. Comfortable shoes.
Oh, comfortable shoes.
We're going to lead off with shoes, footwear. Okay.
I'm an expert with this.
I know. That's why I'll save this one for you. 1656. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1656 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and still one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Actually, I get more senior every day. Some days I feel like I'm 90 and I'm definitely senior. So that's how that works at the Magic for Less. You just get older and things go a little crazy. So we are here to answer your listener questions as we do every Wednesday. Hope you are continuing to enjoy the community check-ins. We do those live on Facebook every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. So come on over, call up, and be a part of the show. So joining me today to answer your listener questions, we have Rikki from touringplans.com and themouseforless.com. What's going on, Rikki?
Hey. Just, enjoying that quarantine life for another couple of days. I think I'm going back to work here soon. So just enjoying that quarantine life for just a few more days. So
kind of jealous to be able to get outside the house.
Yeah, that'll be nice, actually. But I mean, we'll see how it happens. We'll see how it works. My state's already the one that's opened up already. So they're just like, come to work now. Okay.
Yeah, Georgia. We're all going to meet at Six Flags over Atlanta, right? Is that how it's going to work this weekend?
Sure. Yeah. That's
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So you are the guinea pig. So we'll see how Rikki does. The rest of us will figure out what we're going to do. All right,
exactly. Yeah.
Hey, somebody's got to be the brave soul, Rikki. We love you.
Yes. I guess it's going to be me. Hey, it's going to be May. Almost. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
That joke was funny, and now it's not really.
Shut up, but it's still funny.
It was, but no. So you're going to change your Twitter handle to the Canary in the Coal Mine, right? That's what you should be.
Sure.
You know what that means? Okay, never mind. Because you're going to be out there for all the rest of us.
Got it.
Look up what Canary in the Coal Mine means, and that'd be a good Twitter handle for anybody that lives in Georgia. Anyway, bad joke.
It's an old bad joke, yeah.
Pam Forrest is here. She's from Magic for Less Travel. Pam, how are things Pittsburgh way?
They are fine. In fact, on our side of the state, so Pennsylvania is such a huge state. We've talked about this. It's like wide. And the eastern part of the state is sort of near to New York City, is sort of a gateway to New York City over there. We, on this side of the state, are near nothing at all, except Ohio and a little part of West Virginia that sort of, comes up. Oh, there she is telling me I got a notification. Anyways, and so we have relatively few cases here on our side of the state. They're very different. It sort of goes right down the middle. So anyways, we're fine. Yet we have to adhere to the guidelines set up by the eastern side of the state. So we may be locked down for the rest of our lives. Who knows? I don't know. I'm hoping.
Either that or else you'll be, you'll be called Western Pennsylvania.
Yes, right. There's a new state. So anyways, yes, but we're doing fine. And Canary in a Coal Mine, for those of you who are older like I am, the Police used to have a song, Canary in a Coal Mine, remember? Anyways, I might be the only one. I was big into the Police. at some point in my
Was
high
it all
school
about
experience.
Sting for you?
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, but I actually really kind of liked all of them.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, yeah.
May we all walk in fields of gold soon.
There you go. Right. So, anyways,
and here soon, everybody will be watching you. Every breath you take. So just
Oh my god.
every cake you bake.
right, anything. Boy, Apple and Google will be watching you. All right,
I know.
Actually, Rikki doesn't have the first question, but she forwarded this one to me from Julie, and she's got a question here. Says, okay, I know this is not the official way to submit a question, so I don't know how this one came in, like by snail mail
She
or
sent it to me, directly to me, so that's why.
messenger pigeon. I don't know how this got to you, but anyway, she says, I would love it if you could have an extended discussion on footwear in the parks. I get horrible blisters every single time. I do what you're supposed to do. I bring 3 comfortable pairs and alternate. I usually bring my Tevas.
Yeah.
I have those. My Crocs and a pair of sneakers to be worn with socks and alternate. No matter what, I get really, really bad blisters. Could you encourage Mike and Pam to talk about this? Help. All right, Rikki, encourage us.
Well, I sent the email, so that was me encouraging you.
That was it? That was all the encouragement we get?
That's it. That's all you get. Yes.
So my feet are just beat really up from running so much. So my feet are just kind of like just big meat hooks at the end of my legs. They're really, they're really tore up. When I go down, I always just take sneakers and I take some run, but I always make sure that I have, like she said, like about 3 pair, because I think if you wear the same shoes over and over, you will get blisters. So I do change them up. I will bring a pair of Crocs, but I don't wear them to the park. I'll wear them like if I'm just walking down to the pool. And I'll bring, I'm really into these, what are they? They're Skechers, and they're like slip-ons, and they're super spongy and they're super comfortable. And I got them for $15 on a flash deal on Amazon. That's why I bought them. So they're great. So I don't have the answer because my feet are always messed up anyway, but they don't get any worse at Walt Disney World. Pam, I know you have put, you have a doctorate degree in this. So I'm just going to turn this one over to you.
I do. My main problem is I have plantar fasciitis. I don't typically get blisters because I am obsessive about buying shoes that fit me. And let me just put this out there, although this seems like a very easy thing to wrap your head around, and you think to yourself, okay, I'm not stupid. I don't know why she's saying this. If you haven't had your foot actually measured by a professional at some point, let's say in the last year or 2 years, go and get it done. Your foot actually continues to grow throughout your lifespan. It may get wider, it may get longer, whatnot. So do that. And they actually look at a few different things. Like for me, my big toe is not my longest. It's the second toe. I know there's a name for that.
Me too. My second toe is way longer than my big toe.
And that's where you have to measure it to. That's the toe you have to fit, right? The one that's the longest. So anyways, so just do that to see. So the shoes, though, that I find the most comfortable are, of course, my tennis shoes. And I think that they're the ones that I walk in, but I rotate through. Like if you're just walking, or you're walking as for exercise or whatnot, I have a few different kinds that I wear. And that's just really, something that I think is a personal choice. The ones that I really typically like are New Balance, Saucony. I do like some of the Brooks. I have a wider foot, but it's wide in a weird place and narrow at the back. So anyways, that's really personal. But Jocelyn just put up there Vionics. They are absolutely one of the only flip-flops that I can wear.
I've really heard of Vionics.
They're good. They're really sort of based on your footbed and keeping that sort of stable. They're pricier, but I absolutely love them, and they are flip-flops that I can walk in. I mean, I have them on right now. Jocelyn's so much better about keeping her feet in shape than I am. She's like, you got to roll, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm just like, okay.
She uses Body Glide on her feet. I guess it makes sense. Cut down the friction.
Yeah, I know. So I think if you're getting blisters, chances are that your shoes may not fit right. Mm-hmm. Because if I get a good pair of tennis shoes that I know that fit my feet, or a good pair of Bionics, I can take them out of the box the day I buy them, put them on my feet, and I don't get any kind of blister from it. Mm-hmm. The other thing I will say is if you're wearing tennis shoes and you are looking for socks that work well, I love Features. They also provide some support for those of you who have different foot afflictions, right? So try them too. Again, these are pricey, but this is an investment in walking and your stamina and everything like that. So absolutely treat it as such.
So our chat room has mentioned so many different kind of footwear that I have never heard of. Okay, Marcy's talking about if you're wearing socks, she wears something called Balegas, Balegas. She says she swears by those. It could be the socks. A lot of people wear Birks. Amy wears Skechers Go Walks and Sanuk yoga slings. No idea what that is. We got the Vionics. We also had one up here. Gina was saying, have you ever tried Chacos? Chacos. They're comfy.
I don't, but I've heard of all these things. I stick with things that are tried and true for myself. And here's the other thing. If you're looking to buy a footwear that you've not purchased previously, buy it now, break it in so that you won't have any problems while you're there. How many people have you seen at Disney World that are there in flip-flops and it must be like day 3 of their vacation because they have all kinds of band-aids all over their foot? And I'm always like, that is grossing me out so bad. Like I see a band-aid situation happening there and like one's getting a little loose and I want to be like, oh, don't do that. So anyways, yeah. Don't be that person.
Raise your hand if you've seen somebody cruising around the Magic Kingdom in high heels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, what are you doing?
No,
I mean,
right?
I'm sorry if you're in the chat and you wear high heels. You are a goddess or a god. I don't even care. Like if you can walk the Magic Kingdom in high heels, you have a pain tolerance that you could sleep on a bed of nails. You have to. I whine when I have the most comfortable shoes I can buy. I'll pay $200 to get comfortable shoes. I'm still whining because my feet hurt.
I want to say to these people, did you not know where you were coming today? Was it a surprise to you, or do you really like you have to look good like that, like in heels and everything every day? No. God bless those people.
No,
that's right. No. I mean, I try to look good, people, but I mean, I know that it's a lost cause. I'm all about the comfort. You've seen me. Everybody's seen me.
Can I share my shoes? I was like, I know Pam went on and on, which was good because I actually learned a lot about a few different pairs of shoes I want to buy now. So thanks, Pam. My shoe that I get, and I don't know that they still make it because I have literally bought every single pair on Amazon that they have left that I think that I can find. They are Skechers and they are yoga mat shoes. So I like the yoga mat ones because they have that cushion. They have a little bit of give in the actual like part that hits the ground. So that part is really big. You want to make sure you have like something that has cushion when you hit the ground because otherwise the thing that really wears your feet a lot while you're walking at Walt Disney World is actually the standing in line because you're just standing there. So if you don't have something that really is cushioning your feet, it's really going to bother you. I don't wear tennis shoes unless I have to, like unless it's cold. And that's when I end up getting the blisters is when I do end up wearing my tennis shoes. Like Pam has said, I probably have the wrong size tennis shoe. And I have weird feet too. So like I have problems overall with my feet in general. So like I understand why I have the problem that I have. But so the tennis shoe thing not fitting my foot makes sense actually, Pam. But when I'm down in Disney, I generally wear, if I can, I wear the Skechers, and they're a flip-flop type of shoe, the yoga mat shoe. And I like them because they also have a back to them. So I used to wear just flip-flops that didn't have like regular just flip-flops. And then I realized that part of my problem was I needed something with some sort of back to it. So I found those, and the Sanuks are actually very, the Sanuk yoga sling, I'm looking at those online. They're very similar. So that would be probably the next thing that I will try since I don't think I can get my Skechers anymore. But definitely you want to make sure you have something that has cushion on the bottom and kind of cradles the heel of your foot if you're wearing flip-flops, because that's going to be the key right there. So.
And I think it's just everybody's got to take care of their, just kind of figure out at home before you go down. I will say, learn from running is that I get a size of shoe like a half a size bigger for running because when you're on your feet a lot, your feet swell. That was my problem when I first started running. I got my normal size. And my feet were killing me. But now, like even if I have to wear like a thicker sock at first, your feet swell. And when you're down there like 3-4 days, by day 4, your foot might be a full size bigger just because
That's true.
People are also talking about compression socks. That's a good idea too. I've done that. All right, enough of that, because also returning, we're going to be out of the travel category in iTunes.
Right.
Next to famous footwear and I don't know, Nike. We're not going to win that battle. All right, Coronado Switch is the next email. Hey guys, thanks for all the extra content and positivity during the quarantine. I'm currently booked for Coronado, a non-tower room, July 10 through 15. Originally, my wife and I were coming from New Orleans for a conference. However, it's been canceled. We're considering making a switch to French Quarter. Do you recommend? Coming from Easley, South Carolina, 544 miles from Walt Disney World. Thanks again, Kevin. All right, so basically he's wanting to know, would he if it were you, stick with Coronado, non-tower room, or move over to French Quarter? Rikki, what do you say?
I do like the smaller size of French Quarter. So I think maybe switch to French Quarter. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Not that Coronado's bad. I just think that, the smaller size is a little more appealing to me.
I'm confused because it says they're coming from New Orleans, but also at the end it said they're coming from South Carolina.
True.
Is a resort right now, just because, again, it's like the last place I stayed. I stay at Coronado because it's got so much new stuff going on. Riverside, or French Quarter and Riverside, you got the kind of sister resort. You got 2 pools. You got the boat transportation to Disney Springs. So if you're going to spend a lot of time at Disney Springs, French Quarter. But if you're just, typical going to the parks, hotel, especially a couple, I might go Coronado.
If they're from New Orleans, though, right? Is that what they said?
They're coming from New Orleans for a conference. They were coming, but the conference has been canceled. I don't know. They're either coming from New Orleans or South Carolina. It said both.
Oh, okay. That's why I got confused. So I was like, wait, they're coming from New Orleans, but it's okay. Anyway.
Of that resort. It is by far my favorite moderate, really and truly. I think because it has so many great amenities. The resort looked fantastic, by the way. When they updated the rooms, they also updated the exterior decor of that whole resort. So it looks wonderful. You have 3 bridges, which is right there in the middle of the resort to eat at, which I think is a great location. But then you have so many other dining opportunities as well. You have Cafe Rick's, both the quick service and the sort of loungy area. That's it is a table service restaurant, so that too. But then there's Maya Grill. There's so many things to do, and I just think the resort is stunning. Lots of activities. We always say this. It's a moderate that sort of feels like a deluxe, and I love that about it. So,
Marcy Kirk too in the live chat mentioned she has a good point too. In the summer, they're going down in July. The pool at Coronado is awesome. It's big. It's a lot bigger than the one at French Quarter. It's got the nice bar. It has hot appetizers. It has a really good bar. It's got a hot tub. It's got the playground. Well, they're just adults. They're going to be on the playground. Maybe they want to. I have my Top Gun shirt on again. Maybe they're going to play some sand volleyball. You can do that there if you want to look like Maverick and Goose. A lot going on there. There's no sand volleyball over at French Quarter that I know of. So if you want to do a Top Gun. Top Gun's being delayed this summer. It was supposed to come out this summer. That's why I got this shirt to wear to a movie. Remember back in the days when there were movie theaters? I was going to do the movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. There are movie theaters here in Georgia now.
That's true.
Open,
That's
so,
true.
Yeah. There's no movies to go see, but there are movie theaters that are open. I'm not going to see a movie this weekend. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because they did open up Franklin County, which is to the west of where I live even. It's probably about 50, 60 miles outside of St. Louis. They opened it up this past week. So skating rinks, gyms, movie theaters could open, stuff like that. And the movie theater was closed because there's no movies to show.
There's nothing.
What are you going to do? All right, and roller skating rinks, that's open. And I find that interesting because I worked at a roller skating rink forever. And social distancing has to do with being able to control your own body. You strap wheels onto somebody and it's all bets are off. I mean,
that's true.
You might have the best intentions to stay 6 feet apart and you're crashing into each other. So anyway, I could social distance on skates, but I just don't trust other people. Anyway, looking forward to the future. This one's from Steven in Hudson Valley, New York. Hello, Mike, Rikki, and Pam. I appreciate all you're doing to keep up with the podcast. It's a great reprieve from our current reality. I work for a local health department, and during these crazy times, I appreciate having your podcast with me during my morning runs. It helps me keep my sanity. So thank you for being out there and working in the health field. I can't imagine the stuff you're going through. He says, my family and I, we have 4 kids, a 13-year-old boy, 10-year-old triplet girls.
Whoa.
Okay, hang on. I take that back. Maybe going to work is a reprieve from having quarantine with 4 kids, 13, 10, 10, 10. Oh my goodness. That's gotta be crazy. No, just kidding. Trying to get to the world every 3 years. We went last July. Thanks, Mike, for the reassurances that a July vacation would be great. It was. I'm really trying to move our next vacation up a year so we can go in July of 2021. I know that the official anniversary is not until October, but do you think they'll have celebration stuff going on in July? Any idea of what type of extras they might have? How do you think the crowds will be? Do you think any of the new attraction openings are going to be delayed due to the COVID-19 virus? I know it is impossible to predict a lot of this. You have indicated that fall and winter may be busy, but as you are rescheduling vacations, are folks rescheduling to next summer? Again, thanks for all you're doing, Steve in Hudson Valley. So lots to process this year, in this email. Let's kind of tackle the first thing as what we know right now, end of April 2020. As far as the celebrations for the 50th, I mean, I would imagine they're going to try to keep as much of the stuff that's going to be celebratory, stuff that doesn't require infrastructure, marketing and parades or, pop-up shows, if they can do those. We don't even know at this point, but I would think the lighter, fluffy stuff, I would imagine will start on time, but I'd imagine a lot of the bigger stuff's going to be delayed. And I would not expect any of the 50th anniversary stuff to be happening before October. Would you, Rikki? What do you think?
I still think it's going to depend. It's, there's so much that's still up in the air with everything. Even before this question or, before this, COVID-19 came out, like I still wouldn't have an answer for you because it really does depend on when Disney decides that they want to start with a celebration. A lot of times they start celebrations in the summer. They start them,
and they could need it to get people back. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
a good incentive to get people to move. Like, okay, we're not going to wait till October. We're gonna make this the 50th anniversary summer and start
Absolutely.
it
And start it early. So, it's really going to depend on what happens with the virus. It's going to depend on what happens, how Disney can move forward with everything. It's going to depend on how they can move forward with construction. I'm still one of the mind that I don't know that Epcot is going to open until 2021. I know that everybody, and again, this is just conjecture. It could very well change, but it's based off the fact that they have gotten rid of all of their, cast members that are, from overseas, to fill up World Showcase. So, I don't know what they're going to do there. They furloughed, they got rid of all of them. So, it's hard to know whether, and my theory would be with that, they would be able to work on Epcot. There's a lot of construction going on that will be going on at Epcot when they can start doing construction again. So I would think that they would just knock it all out. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? I mean, I could be very wrong. They could open it up and, whatever, but that's just me thinking about things. So I honestly don't know what they're going to do with, a lot of the 50th anniversary revolved around Epcot. That's kind of why I think that they're going to just knock it all out. You know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of my whole thought process on that. So, honestly, I don't know. You got Tron that's supposed to open up for the 50th too. So honestly, at this point, it really is too early to tell. And I know that's awful for planners like us, who are like, I really want to be there for it. And I wouldn't have been able to tell you before all this happened. And I really can't tell you now. So
I would expect though, as soon as they start lifting these stay-at-home orders, that and they're able to start the construction without the guests even being back. That's going to be time that they're making it. Because remember, they're not trying to stay on a timeline right at this point. They're trying to catch up back to because they're losing days and weeks now at this point.
Yeah, they lost 2 months.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like 6 weeks at this point. But who knows? I mean, how long it's going to be. The thing is, okay, so what I can tell you, because we can't tell you a lot of this stuff. I mean, we don't know. But the thing is, he's asking about, are folks rescheduling next summer? Yes, people are. I mean, I've booked 3 trips today for next summer. I booked one in July. I booked one in August. Because remember, you can book basic packages right now up to 499 days in advance. So right now, I think that's September 9th is the day we're recording. Every morning I have to ask my digital assistant. What is 499 days from today? But that's the best thing, because and a lot of these folks have trips on the books for this summer or this fall, and what they're doing is booking backup trips, which is super smart, because for a $200 deposit, you've got your bases covered. Are you going to go this summer? If you go and you don't, hey, I tell everybody, do both. They're 2 years apart. They're a year apart. Do them. But at least you have something on the books if something were to happen this summer. Yes, that is happening. July 2021, I think it's going to be a great time to be there. I would definitely. But Pam, final words on this one. What do you think?
I think it's all just so up in the air. I mean, we really don't know what Disney's thinking, what they're doing. I think that I know that I've trusted Disney with my vacations for a very long time. I know that they want to be open as much as I want them to be open. And I think that they're working really hard to figure out a way to do that for us. And we'll have to see what comes. I really think that we can hope to see them open sooner rather than later, and to see what they come up with. It will look different, but I think that we'll have some opportunities there, hopefully, to hang our hope on. So
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
I mean, and I truly believe this. I mean, the next trip's going to be the most awesome trip, because we're going to appreciate things to a different level that we haven't. Now, we just don't know. Pam and I were talking about this, give us a date. We struggle, as travel planners, when people are impacted on cruises by weather, by like a hurricane during hurricane season. But we know, that hurricane is going to move, even if these last few hurricanes have moved very slowly, they creep. And so maybe a cruise is canceled, maybe back-to-back cruises were canceled, but we know that it's a short-term thing. This is a little bit longer term. But I mean, we know, I've said this quote on the show before, and it was mentioned by our general manager of the Cardinals. And he says every storm eventually, loses all of its rain. Eventually the storm rains itself out. So, we're going to get there, but I know it is frustrating right now. I feel everybody's pain. All right. Heather's got a question. Says, hey, love the podcast. It was so helpful when I planned my first trip to Walt Disney World last year. We canceled a DCL trip for November 2020. We're looking to reschedule with another Walt Disney World trip instead during one of the following times. She's looking at this. She wants to know which one do you think would be the best? Second week of January, second week of February, or first week of April. It'll be myself, my husband, and our 4.5-year-old daughter at the trip. Any recommendations as to which time would be better? Planning on 7 to 10 days. Many thanks. Appreciate you guys. Heather. So second week of January, just so I'm off the top of my head, that's marathon weekend. It can be a transportation issue. It's not really a park issue, but getting around on that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because the roads get closed down, can be an issue. Second week of February, you're looking at, that's around Valentine's Day. The Festival of the Arts will be going on. Probably
Day is close to that.
Close, but it's usually about the third weekend.
Yes.
So you may be getting, because you do not want to be there President's Weekend. If you can avoid that, that'll be busy. In the first week of April, I don't see anything running into that. So I definitely try to avoid the January. The weather is more comfortable. It's more consistent in February. April as well. Pam, what would you pick out of? I would drop January. What about February or first week of April? Second week of February.
Yeah, so anywhere near President's Week is going to be a little bit of a challenge, because that really is impactful in terms of your wait times and things like that. Not that you can't navigate around it. So if that's your preferred date, I always tell people your preferred date is your preferred date. Like, unless you're going to be going Christmas, New Year's, Easter, things like that, you really can't. And even then, you can work around these things. FastPass Plus has made it so that you're going to be able to schedule 3 rides in advance. There's lots of other attractions and shows that you can fit in around that to feel like you're getting a full day in the park. But I really enjoy the weather in that March, April time period. It's where I am. It's the time that I need to get the heck out of Dodge, because I'm so tired of everything. And in Florida, it's beautiful. Yeah. So that would be my preferred date.
All righty. Erica's got a question here. She says, hello, be our podcast crew. Be our guest podcast crew. Love your expertise.
Did you forget the name of our podcast?
I was kind of improvising. It says, hello, BRF crew. I don't know why I can podcast in there, because like a billion times in my
you
life.
might have heard of us. I hear it's a popular podcast.
I've heard a few things about it. Yeah.
It's big, and we've had a lot of downloads actually this week. No kidding, in South Africa. I mean, so
The South African people like our podcast.
Yeah, I'm saying, shout out to South Africa. Love your expertise and help in planning my Disney trips. All of your positive shows since the COVID-19 broke out has been a real blessing. My husband is a medical resident, and it's been a pretty stressful time in our home right now. Listening to your shows has been a great escape from reality, so thank you for that. So again, we have so many essential workers in our audience, and thank you for being out there. Thank you for the folks in healthcare. Thank you for the folks in the logistics and being on the front lines. We sure appreciate you guys. My question is, would you rather, a game, Wilderness Lodge, Standard View King Bed, or Coronado Grandestino Tower, Standard View? No word on what kind of bed. Everything is literally the same.
Air mattress on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. Wilderness Lodge. Okay, if you're getting no air. Anyway, everything's literally the same. For $100 more, we can upgrade from Grandestino Tower to Wilderness Lodge. 2 adults, 6 nights, 5 park days. We'll be doing the same pool time. Trip is the last week of August. We had a trip booked in May, but we were taking advantage of the free dining promotion and moving it to August. Well done. That's a good play. Also, when you get that free dining at a moderate upgrade to the standard dining plan, it's not much, and you get all the sit down.
100%. Yeah, that's
me.
It's a no-brainer.
when people don't upgrade, I'm like, oh man, it's not that much.
It's darn for you. Like,
do it for your travel agent. I'm not just trying to make your trip more expensive. No, I'm just trying to make it because you get good meals. It's a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. So that you don't have to eat quick service all week.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you got to eat anyway. Anyway, back to the email. Also, are you seeing a lot of rebookings for August? Do you think crowds will be bigger than normal? What are some of your best tips for dealing with August summer heat? Once again, thanks for all your shows and all the hard work you put into this podcast. Stay safe, and let's hope this virus goes away soon. Thanks, Erica. Erica, thank you. We do hope it goes away soon, and we hope you stay safe as well. Okay, real quick on the back end. Rebookings for August. Here's what I would say as far as anticipated crowds in August, just from what I see, because I've been doing this for like 9 years. I see patterns. What I would say is I don't think August will be any busier than normal, because I think you're going to have the offset of your typical family that lives down the street who's probably maybe not going to travel this summer. And you got a lot of folks who are jonesing that were like you're supposed to go in May, and you just want to get there. So I think it's going to be, if I had to guess, I would say it's going to be slightly below average. So I think you're going to be in good shape. But good job on getting the free dining. Now, get back to the question. We'll throw it to Pam first, so that I'm going to say Coronado in the tower. Again, I love even though Wilderness Lodge is a deluxe, I do love some Wilderness Lodge. I do. It's hard to vote against it for I don't know. Let me think more about this. Standard View King Bed, Wilderness Lodge. They're going in August. Wilderness Lodge has a sweet pool, but I just was singing the praises of the Coronado pool with the pyramid. For $100 more, Wilderness Lodge. You got Geyser Point. Oh, you're killing me here. Okay, I'm going Wilderness Lodge. I do like Wilderness Lodge. For $100 more than a moderate, I'm doing it. Pam, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to say Wilderness Lodge, because as much as I love Coronado, and I've expressed my love here to Coronado on this podcast and many other, Wilderness Lodge is, I think, just so quintessential Disney. And the reason I say that is because of the theming. It's all about the theming. And Wilderness Lodge just does it so, so well. Plus, they are that won't be ready by then, but they are redoing some of the rooms. We posted a video on the Magic for Less Travel YouTube site that shows the redone rooms. How nice are they? That won't be done probably by the time that you're there. Sorry. But even so, the rest of the resort is just beautiful. And they have 2 pools, the main pool and the quiet pool over by Boulder Ridge. So I'm really saying Wilderness Lodge. Plus, you get the boat transportation to Magic Kingdom.
Great. And not only the boat transportation, the Magic Kingdom, I love walking from my room back to the boat launch. Especially the lanterns and the boardwalk kind of thing. That's really rustic. All right, Rikki, you going to make it a sweep, or are you going to be a rebel?
I should be a rebel. Yeah, I should. I think I'm going to agree. I think I'm going to say Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, I love Wilderness Lodge. That's my second home. So Wilderness Lodge it is. I mean, you guys have given all good reasons on why. So, I mean, it really is. It's such a homey resort. So Wilderness Lodge has it.
I need some Geyser Point right now. I need the chicken sandwich.
Right.
It's rough. All right, let's get to the last question of the day, and it is from Kashun in the live chat here. Would you think it's safe to plan a cruise in September of 2020, or should we wait till December of 2020? Thank you for everything. Okay, so let me just give, again, we don't know. Actually, we have another listener question about, I'll just read this one too. We'll kind of tackle both at the same time. My daughter's school orchestra is planning a trip to Walt Disney World in Orlando for some performances during Thanksgiving of this year. Do you think Disney will change their plans? Go Cubs and Peoria Chiefs, Cecil. But I even read it, just so you know, Cubs fan. I read everybody's emails because that's what I do. Go Cardinals. We don't know. You're going to have ample time. I mean, not a ton of time before Disney will. They're holding on as long as they can to make the best decisions. I think the worst thing you can do is make a hasty decision at this point. We were going for a walk the other day, a couple days ago. Pam's like, I know I'm not a Universal fan. Okay. So we all know that, right? I mean, it's okay, but I'm just not, I'm a Disney guy. And she's like, I heard Universal's got this plan, like to open the parks. I'm like, yeah, but I think it's like rapid testing and all that. I think right now everybody needs to just you got to wait and see what's going on. Like, I just think right now is not the time to be making policy yet. I think it's coming soon. You need to make plans, but you don't need to be announcing stuff yet. Now, all that said, would I plan a cruise for September? If you want to cruise in September, yes, I would. Because here's the deal. If the cruise is canceled, you are going to have the opportunity to get 100% of your money back. No problem. They're going to give you a 100% refund. You can also move that cruise to a future date and maybe get a future cruise credit, at least worth what you're getting. Now, we don't know what Disney will do in the future because this could change at any point. But folks who have had their cruises canceled right now, and we've had some people, and I'm sorry for all those folks that have lost cruises. I feel bad. I know how important a cruise is, but they've gotten 125% future cruise credit, which a lot of times what I'm seeing is my guests have moved from a summer 2020 cruise to a summer 2021 cruise. They may move from the dream to the fantasy. They might go from the Bahamas to like an Eastern Caribbean cruise, which is more expensive. Boom, covered. Because for one thing, the cruises in the future tend to be cheaper because the ships aren't full yet. And with that future cruise credit, it's covering that, and people are getting an additional onboard credit because that's where the additional funds go. So I would say yes. I would say it's more likely to sail in December than September. I mean, be honest, it's further out from what's going on right now. December is more likely to sail than September. But if you want to go in September, there's no really risk in it. Pam, am I missing something here? Because I mean, you see this all the time from your end as well. I just want to get your perspective.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. First of all, with the future cruise credit, the thing that makes that so appealing is, when do you ever see a 25% reduction or sale on Disney Cruise Line sailings? You don't. Because you don't see it, because it doesn't happen, because Disney ships sail full. So that's the beauty of that. We've had guests contact us asking if they could make a reservation on a sailing that they thought would be canceled because they want the future cruise credit. And I'm like, well, I'm not quite sure. But anyways.
Sketch, people. Yeah. Okay. Rikki did that the other night, but we're not condoning it. No,
she did want the future cruise credit. She said Brian made her.
That's
I don't believe her.
You order her an onboard credit. I'm like, nope.
Responsible. Yeah.
Brian's like, how many times can we do that? Can we get 125% of 125%?
Exactly.
He's a numbers guy, man. He's got to figure it out.
So anyways, but yeah, so that's a bonus for that. I think that, people that have the finances to travel, I think you've got to continue to make plans to do so, because there are going to be opportunities, there are going to be deals, there are going to be different things that come up, and you just have to be comfortable knowing that right now we're not sure what's going to happen. If we could tell everyone, we would, and we'll keep you in the best way possible. We'll advocate for you, advise you as soon as we know information, and that's all we can do with that.
That's right. And Disney Cruise Line they're doing Disney as a whole. I mean, I will say that, of course, Pam can agree with me. Rikki's in the same boat as well. We all work in this Disney hemisphere in some fashion. Disney's a big deal. Not only that it's our passion, it's what we love. It was a hobby that turned into a career. But the thing is, we've had a lot of sleepless nights because, we just don't know either. And the thing is, I have to say this, and I've said this before, Disney's doing a stellar job of taking care of everybody the best they can, because they couldn't have seen this coming a year out. I'm sure they saw it coming in maybe January, but they're taking good care of their guests. They're so accommodating with final payments, refunds, just modifications, and bending some rules, making things a little bit easier for travel agents so that we can make it easier for our guests. So I have to say that I sure appreciate what they're doing from their end, because nobody wants to hear the thing that kills me whenever this stuff's coming up more than anything. Because again, remember, I was a teacher. I feel bad whenever I see a reservation that canceled or a cruise that canceled that has like, it says like 2 adults, 2 kids, 10 and 6. Like when I see that, it breaks my heart, because as adults, we know things happen. We know how the world works. And this is unprecedented for us. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm 46, dude. If my trip gets canceled, I'm a mess. But if I'm a 10-year-old girl or a 10-year-old boy, or, a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old who's got their princess dresses, and they've been counting down the days till they eat in the castle with Cinderella, or, Akershus or what have you. I mean, honestly, I feel so bad for the kids, because it's really hard to explain this to them. You can't go. So we'll get through it and they'll get their trips, but it's just, it is heartbreaking. I get it. It's sad. We'll make it though. Anyway, what a way to end a show there, boy. Mike, you did it well there with the downer on that one. But better days are ahead, folks. Just think about it. I keep saying this. We're one day closer to getting back to our favorite place with our favorite people. So that's how it's going to be. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday, and we're talking about the best. And it's not a typical the best show. So you're going to have to stand by and join us for that on Friday. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. That's where you call in and be a part of the show, and we have a great time. And yes, it would not be a quarantine show if we didn't have the dog barking in the background or a kid cruising through on the video, which I just
want to say it's not my dog.
It's not. It's Riley, super dog Riley. Apparently we're being robbed or something upstairs. I don't know.
Okay, that's good.
So we're going to get out of here. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. When you get ready for that next Disney vacation, remember, it's going to happen, and planning is the thing to do right now. When you plan, you can start dreaming, and that dream will carry you till the next trip. I'm telling you, that's how I get through normal days. 2013, if I didn't have a trip, I didn't have anything to really look forward to. So that's really important right now. So drop by themagicforless.com. Check out all the great trip planning tools, resources there. Just look at the pictures. I mean, it's like a big picture book. Look at the resorts. That's what I do. And while you're there, fill out that free, no obligation quote form. An agent will get back to you right away, let you know about your options. If you have any questions about all this stuff, because, we're plugged in, this is what we do every day. We'll help walk you through all this, because it is unprecedented times. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please continue to use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra, and every purchase really does help support everything we do here on the show. So please bookmark it, share it, and use it often. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. All right, give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestpod and at beourguestmike. And of course, all the fun happens at facebook.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, time to get out of here. We'll be back again on Thursday with a community check-in, Friday with the best. And we'll see how that goes. We're not even sure right now. So for Pam and Rikki, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. I almost missed it. All right, let me save that. Hang out, Miss K. We're going to do another show. Let's see. Save as episode. These episodes are all mixed up now that I started doing those other shows. Dang dog.
Yeah, happens.
It does. I can't believe we've been in this house for like 6 weeks.
Dude, I mentioned Skechers and they popped up on my phone.
Dude, I know I'll probably have whatever I need. I bet you'll have that Tevis or whatever. Tevis. Look at my screen wallpaper.
Well, I can't see anything now. What?
It's hard to see because it
is hard to see. I can't see what that is.
Adventureland. It's that like
little. Gotcha.
I've been changing it every day just to. I don't know, just because I have to. Miss K hanging out in Vancouver. You're 2 hours ahead of us. You're not as hungry as us. Also, I gotta say this. I meant to say it at the end of that show, but I got sidetracked. Happy birthday, Melissa. You are 40.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Welcome to the club. Good Lord. I would say life gets better at 40. It's okay, but you'll get a lot more sore all the time.
Yeah, but you know a lot more, so it makes up for it.
That's true. You do. You just start accepting stuff. All right. Let's see here. Chad said it right. You got to make plans for your own sanity mental health. You need something to look forward to.
It's very true.
Amen, Chad. Quote of the night. I'm giving it to Chad. My bell stinks. There. And it's a Hollywood Tower of Terror bell. It should be better.
You need a light touch with it.
I know you do. You do. It's exactly it. I want to mash it like, nothing.
Yeah, you want to be like, if you want to do that, you need like a gavel. If you want something that's like really hard, like you need a gavel.
I'm more of like a Mel Sharples.
Mel Sharples.
You know who that is, Rikki? I'm testing Rikki.
No.
You don't know who Mel Sharples is? I need the hat. Did you ever see the show Alice?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
You got to watch Alice. Kiss my grits.
No.
Flo.
Yep, Flo.
Sorry.
Who was it? Flo, Edith, and Alice, right?
I think so. Edith, yeah, she was kind of a mousy
White one, yeah.
Yeah, lady.
Didn't have much self-esteem. And then Tommy was her son.
Mm-hmm.
Alice. You got to look up on YouTube. Alice. That's just what it was called. It was like about 3 waitresses, and Mel Sharples was the guy who owned the restaurant.
Oh, by the way, in TV news on Netflix, we have started watching the new Lost in Space, and it is surprisingly pretty good.
Oh. Well,
a little predictable, but it's fun. It's fun. And he does do Danger Will Robinson.
I've never seen that.
The old one?
Oh.
I've never seen it.
The old one was like on like after school when, there was not other stuff on. So it's an old show that was on many times.
Pam and Paige were watching something like Little Fires, something other.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Show, I think, or maybe it was on Hulu. And now they're watching like Little Liars or something.
Oh, that's like some drama.
I don't know. I don't watch this stuff. I go to bed. All right, let's do this.
Wow, Alice was on for a long time.
Nope. It was.
You missed it. That was must-see TV.
All I know is now apparently I need to watch the Jonas Brothers concert film Happiness Continues. So
you need to watch Alice.
And The Love Boat.
Oh my God.
We watched one last night. Charo was on.
Oh yeah.
Gucci.
Love Boat seriously might be my favorite sitcom of all time.
Oh my God. Love it.
It's scratching.
Love it.
Cruise.
Love. Oh, the ships were so bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
in real life too, not just on the show.
Apparently, like that, the Pacific Princess was the last ship to get back in port when all this happened. Like they were on a around the world cruise or something. I know it's not the same boat because they scrapped it only just a couple of years ago, actually.
I think
Joanne, I wore this for Jay because I thought he might be in here because Melissa's birthday. It says because I was inverted. That's what Maverick said in Top Gun. Because I pretend like I'm a pilot now that I fly.
Yeah, right.
That's as close as I'm getting to that yoke. I'm on the plane. Oh my God, yes, Amy. Love Boat followed by Fantasy Island. Yes.
Yes. Hey. That was like a risque Friday night.
That show scared the crap out of me sometimes as a kid. It would be
there
weird.
Were some wild things going on there. My grandma would fall asleep, so then we got to watch Fantasy Island because she was asleep. I don't know that anyone would have like said that was okay for us to watch. I'm just saying.
I haven't seen Fantasy Island in years, but like, were some of the episodes like scary? They were.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was only thinking about that since I was a kid or something.
And risque.
Okay, risque is fine, but scary.
Risque is fine. That's fine.
After that, yes, you can, Tanya. You missed the question show, but yes, you can. Yes. And then Dallas, who shot JR? We gotta stop because I could do this all night. Okay. The best sitcom of '78. That's gonna be my first question.
Oh my gosh, no.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Just
I've
seen boy.
A few episodes.
Never mean
I've
no
seen
harm.
a few episodes of Dukes of Hazzard because Brian likes the Dukes of Hazzard, and he made me go. And I'm gonna say this: he made
Roscoe
me go.
Pico.
So in
Nashville, thing in Tennessee, right? Yes,
in Nashville, Tennessee, there's a place that's called Cooters, and I've been there, and
it's actually a franchise. There's a bunch of them.
It's a museum that's all tied around Dukes of Hazzard.
That's why I love Brian. Brian is so sweet.
I've been to
cool.
Cooters. That's a sentence I never thought I'd ever say in my entire life, but I've been there. So
it's better to go to Cooters than to have Cooters. I don't even know what that means. Little kids, if you're watching, don't say that.
Because we're not sure what it means.
Exactly.
And you're never supposed to say a word that you don't know what it means.
50-50, you're getting your mouthwash out with soap.
True.
I'm just saying, I'm not responsible for that one. Okay.
Depends on the sentence that it's used in. Can you use it in a sentence?
No.
Country of origin, please.
Is it a verb or a noun? All right, let's do this.
You knew that word came from America. I mean, that's an American word.
Dude, his hat was always like bent, like big time, like a country boy. With the thing all bent. Oh yes.
Oh, no.
I don't know what Joanne's watching. Belgravia?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Keith lives where they filmed Dukes of Hazzard. I thought it was in Hazzard County, Kentucky.
That sounds about right.
Are you by Covington?
Am I by Covington?
He's in Georgia.
I
You
don't
don't know.
know.
He must not be.
Well, I mean, not like directly, but it probably is like really close.
All right, we'll talk
Okay,
a little
hang
longer
on.
to get you in here.
Oh, hold on. It's an hour away from me.
That's better. That's not bad. I can go down there to see where the generally jump. Okay, we gotta do this for real. I'm starving.
Okay.
I know, yeah. Seriously.
Okay, here we go. This is 16.
Oh, it's south. Oh, got it. Okay.
Here we go.
Got it.
Welcome to episode 1658 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the weekend, and you know what? You have to embrace the Friday. You have to love the Friday, because if you don't, I mean, seriously, we don't know what day of the week it is, but I'm telling you right now, it is Friday. Unless it's Thursday night because you're Andrew and you're listening to the show as soon as it comes out. But you know what? Who cares? That's close enough. Like, it's like horseshoes and hand grenades at this point. It's Friday. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. Put the laptop down. Knock the distance learning off. Even if you're a student or a teacher, it doesn't matter. You're going to get that done. Nobody's watching you. The teacher's not in the room with you. And if you're the teacher, your kids aren't doing your lessons right now. Go relax. Go get a Coke Zero. Go get some nacho chips out of the pantry. Go on a vacation to the basement. You know, hey, get crazy. Go out on the patio and build something in your chimenea this weekend. It's the weekend, people. We have to embrace it. And that is my public service announcement for the day. Join me today to have some fun. That's right. And only you can prevent forest fires. So there you go. That's the second one. We have Rikki. She's from touringplans.com and themouseforless.com. Rikki, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I know it's Friday because I apparently went back to work today. So, yay. I'm back to the grind. Yes.
At Canary in the Coal Mine, Rikki.
Yes.
We'll see how that goes.
So that's how I know it's Friday, because I'm back at work. So, yeah.
There's a line in one of my favorite movies of all time, October Sky. It's based on the book Rocket Boys by Homer Hickam.
Yes.
And, you know, they're raised in Coalwood, West Virginia. And, you know, most people didn't get out of that town. They went into the coal mine and became coal miners. Speaking of Canary in the Coal Mine, I didn't even look for this connection. God, I'm so good at this. But anyway, what they said was, so they won an entry into the National Science Fair with their rockets that they built. And they could only send one out of the 4 Rocket Boys. And of course, Homer gets to go. And by the way, I've met Homer a few times. I love Homer. I follow him on Twitter too. Anyway, so he gets to go to the National Science Fair. And I believe it could have been in Pittsburgh or somewhere like that. It was some metropolitan area, you know, compared to Coalwood, West Virginia. I'm getting terrible here. But anyway, the line was, they said, "Say hello to the outside world for us, Homer." So Rikki, on behalf of my family, say hello to the outside world for the Raw, please.
I will. I will. It will be very weird to be back in the outside world. Let's just be perfectly honest, because I've been mostly in my house for the past 6 weeks. So, we've gone on a couple like errands to, maybe a Starbucks or maybe to get milk at the grocery store, run into Walgreens for something or stuff like that. But like for the most part, I've been in my house for 6 weeks, and so yeah, I'm gonna say hello to the outside world for everybody.
I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have a microphone in front of me every day and at this point. So it's
Yeah,
kind of weird. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. It's fun though. All right. Also joining us from the aforementioned Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the National Science Fair may have been held. And I may be just making that all up. We have Pam Forrester. What's up,
Maybe.
Pam?
I may or may not actually live here.
That's true. I mean, you just have a
Maybe.
brick wall behind you. I mean, you can find any random brick wall in any town and you're good.
Right? I know, right? So, but yes, happy Friday. It does. I mean, I'm still going to stick with the weekend has lost a bit of its punch, but it is definitely something I think you have to decide each day. So, I think what's going on around us is so crazy and weird that you think to yourself, gosh, I feel like I'm wasting some of these days. But end of the day, I think it, and this is something I tell myself all the time, that I'm exchanging one of my days for this day. So I'm going to make it count one way or the other. And hopefully, each one of us does the same. So whether, even if I have to be socially distant, there's still things I can do that make this day worth something. So
I like that a lot.
I do like that a lot. And I have to tell people that they need to join us on Mondays around 5:45 Eastern. We get cracking. Well, it depends on how long it takes Ricky's computer to reboot. But other than that, we do get going around that time, because if you were joining us live right now as we're recording, it's the golden hour in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because when Pam says something poignant, like God sends down a sunbeam, bam, right on there.
Truth.
It's amazing, and it's happening right now again.
Truth. This must have been what I prayed for on Sunday, which has been weird. How about doing church at home? It's been so weird.
So tempting not to watch my preacher and do quotes at the same time. I gotta multitask now. Like you can't multitask at this, in the auditorium, but you can on the couch. So you gotta be.
Well, you're not supposed to multitask in the auditorium. Yeah, exactly.
And our pastor's wife is a definite listener of our podcast. So Donna, I focus. I stay away from that.
Laser focus.
Yes. I even hung with you when you had technical difficulties this week on Facebook, and we had to go to a different page. I was there, just so you know. I was there. So all right, let's get to today's topic. Today we're going to talk about, just kind of off the top of our heads. The parks have been closed now for 5-6 weeks. We're just having fun, and it's going to be called The Best. And we're not going to go with like the Buzzfeed article, like the best snack to have at Walt Disney World, where they list a Dole Whip and all that. We have the things we've talked about for the last 12 years. We're just going to come up with some kind of normal things to kind of think about the places we love, but maybe some off the wall things. So I'm going to start it off kind of leading back into Wednesday's question, where we started the show about shoes. What's the best shoe to wear to Epcot? Because Epcot, think about it. You're going to be walking around World Showcase. You're not going to, you're going to put a lot of miles on it, Epcot. That's what I'm thinking. So Pam, what about you? What's the best shoe for an Epcot day?
So I like either my comfortable pair of tennis shoes, of which I've brought a couple pairs each time. Because you know what? In addition to being able to swap them out, if one gets wet, what do you do then? It doesn't dry that quickly. So you need two pair. But I really like the Vionic flip-flops. I wear them a lot. I have a few different styles of them. And they're just really comfortable. They're almost as comfortable to me as tennis shoes. And my feet get to be out in the open, which when I'm in Florida, I really like that to be the case. So it's like my toes know. Like as soon as I land in Florida, they want to be like, take these boots off and please put on flip-flops. We need to be free. So anyways, love them.
Some people say sun's out, guns out. You say sun's out, toes out.
Exactly. Exactly.
They need their vitamin C too.
All right.
Okay, Rikki, what about you? Best shoes for Epcot? Joanne says Nike flip-flops.
So I literally wear these shoes all the time. My Skechers, my yoga mat Skechers shoes. Those are the ones that I legit wear them pretty much all the time when I'm down in Orlando. So that's where I'm at. But I don't think they make them anymore, which makes me very sad. So I have to find a new shoe.
Mine currently are my Skechers, also Ultra Goes, they're called, and they're about $50 on Amazon. Use our link. No, just kidding. But they are nice. I mean, they're super spongy and they're slip-ons. I do like those. Or mine. A lot of days I'll just wear my running sneakers because I buy those for comfort too. Yeah. All right, Rikki, give us a topic. The best.
All right, so I'm going to go a little off the wall with this one. So I am going to go with the best joke on the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Make you think. Do you want mine first?
No, you got to go last.
Oh, okay. All right, then Mike.
Take mine. Okay, good.
No, I'm not going to take yours.
If you take mine, you'll get the point in the end. That's mine. I love that. He got the point. But he got a pause.
Got it.
That I don't know why. That's so stupid, but it's because I taught sixth grade forever. It's funny. Anything that like references like the butt is always hilarious to like a sixth grade boy. So I've never grown out of that. So there it is.
No, clearly not.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Pam, your turn.
All right, so I'm going with the backside of water. You have to. That is the quintessential Jungle Cruise joke. I mean, it's a whole like movement. People know the backside of water because of the Jungle Cruise. Can you believe that? Like at some point, Walt Disney's got to be like, "Dang, do you see that? That's like a joke on one of our attractions," and like people all over the world know what the backside of water is. So I think that's just cool.
At this point, I'm about ready to stick my head in the sink just to see the backside of water. So jonesy to get out of the house.
You know what you can do, Mike? Next time you take a shower, instead of standing and looking at it, you can go flip around.
I'll totally do that tomorrow morning. I'll just really spice up my Saturday. All right, Rikki, what's yours? You were dying to tell us.
I am. So my favorite joke is when they share their favorite plants. And then
this
one.
That's kind of visual. We do have video, but when people listening on audio, it doesn't work well.
They just point to the different plants that are in the area. That's just my favorite thing. I don't know why. It's stupid. It's so silly, but I love that joke.
I do love when they shoot the hippos. Shoo, shoo, shoo with the gun.
Yeah. Or the joke that some of them tell that they're not supposed to about, their ex-girlfriend and I love you. That's how they shoo them away.
I don't know what ride you're on. That must be at Universal.
No. I've definitely heard some Jungle Cruise skippers say that joke about how they get the hippos away. It's like they do what they did to their ex-girlfriend, and I love you.
By the way, this past Monday, we had a Jungle Cruise skipper from Disneyland give a trip report. So if you missed it, we talked about the Jungle Cruise there too.
That's fun.
He says it is more fun at night. I did ask your question. I'm like,
it's junglier.
Agreed. It is. From Disneyland even. All right, Pam, the best. What do you got?
Okay, this is one that just, as a parent, you've sort of run into this. The best souvenir to take home to your child's classroom full of other kids, and you have to bring one for everybody. So you got to think of price and taking it home in your suitcase and yada, yada, yada. So Mike, it looks like you got one.
I do, because we've actually done this for our classes. Pam and I, I used to teach, she does teach. We've gotten, suckers at Goofy's Candy Company, and I think they come in like groups of 5, so you got to end up buying like 5 sets, but it turns out to be like $1 a sucker, and they have the Goofy's Candy Company kind of logo on them. You kind of see it from Disney, and it shuts the kids up when you give them to them in the class, so it's practical.
It's
practical for a number of reasons.
Exactly. Totally.
Right.
No, that's
all right. Okay, Rikki, you.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go with like the only thing I can think of is like pencils or like the pencils or pen sets that they have. Like, I know there's probably really other great ideas, but that's a cheap, thing. It comes in a package of multiples. So that's kind of where I'm going with this one. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I mean, we've definitely taken home pencils. The one that I think is you get sort of a good bang for your buck on this one is the pressed pennies. Because it's so unique, right? It's a unique kind of thing. They are small, so when you have to take home 25 of them, it's not going to take up too much room. And kids really seem to like them. So I don't know what happens to the pressed pennies after years and years. Like, I don't know. Do people keep them?
I don't know.
Always. Who knows? So anyways,
All right, here's mine. Okay, next. the best entree at Columbia Harbor House. Can you tell I'm hungry?
Yeah. No
Yeah, now you're going to make us all hungry.
Right. I wish I was there tonight. Okay, Pam, what are you taking?
I am going with that Lighthouse sandwich. It has hummus and broccoli slaw, and I just like it. I think it's a unique offering, and I like that, first of all. And I think it just appeals to a lot of different people because I think, like most people, like hummus at this point, and broccoli slaw, and just, I don't know, it's good. So I'm giving it.
I see. I've never gotten that because it just seems too light. Like I'm always worried I'll leave there still hungry. But
hummus kind of fills you up because it's a garbanzo bean, so there's a lot of protein in those. So I don't know, but yeah,
I'll get that and something else. I'm just kidding. All right, Rikki, what do you got, Rikki, from Columbia?
That's a side dish.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of where I would be. No. Okay, so I am gonna do the lobster roll. I love the lobster roll very, 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 very much. I think it's delicious. I do wish there was a little more lobster in it, but again, you're at a theme park.
Yeah, and it's under $20. So
exactly. So it's a little heavy on the other stuff, but I mean, again, where else are you gonna get a lobster roll? I mean, that's in a theme park. Let's be perfectly honest. And then I'm getting I'm adding a side because I didn't figure this would be
one of the things, but go ahead.
Wait, I didn't. Well, this is gonna be my answer, but I didn't figure it would be enough food for normal people. So I was gonna say the New England clam chowder. I would get that. Normally, that would be what I would get, but because I have a little stomach. But yeah, New England clam chowder. I'm always
the clam chowder is super good. I get it all the time.
So
I do.
So.
Okay, so mine, because I do usually get the it really depends what time of the year. So in the summer, I get the lobster roll because I really like the lobster roll. And again, we never get seafood because I'm the only one that likes it in the family. So I do get that there. But in the winter, so January and February, the pot pie, man, it is solid. It is so good. And to think, so I always want to have pot pies here at home. Pot pies take like 6 hours to cook in the oven.
They do not take.
Oh my God, they take forever. Like by the time
then you gotta wait and burn your tongue.
You know where you can get a pot pie though, Mike?
They're so.
You know where you can get one? They're actually not bad, although I do wish they put in a little bit better chicken. Is actually KFC. KFC has pot pies.
Yes, they also have those famous bowls that have everything they.
No, those freak me out. I can't eat a famous. I can eat the pot pie. No. I cannot eat a famous bowl. Like there is something about that just makes me want to just. So no,
so good.
No, you start mixing corn in with.
Dude, it makes me want to vomit. Literally.
No, I'm out. It's so disgusting. I can't do it.
Agreed.
Nope.
Thank you, Pam. I'm glad that somebody else sees the voice of reason.
Dessert. Anyway.
No, I do miss those parfaits are awesome though. But no, seriously, if you want a chicken pot pie, go to KFC and you can get one. So
I'm just saying because I mean, like when my mom used to make them when I was a kid, like no kidding, she'd put the sucker in the oven and I would eat so much food waiting for that thing to get done. Like I'd eat chips. I'd eat, like by the time the thing came out, it wasn't as exciting because I was full. No, it took forever. But yeah, no, it's really, really good. And on like a drizzly cold night, say like in February, January, December, top floor, Columbia Harbor House, chicken pot pie, watch the world go by. Oh, because when I was down in February, there was a rainy night at the Magic Kingdom. It was chilly. I was like staying because they had some good fast pass. I think I had a fast pass for the Haunted Mansion like in 30 minutes. So I just got my pot pie, sat there, had some fried pie, just watched everybody out there in the rain. I was like, oh man, I'm winning. I'm so winning to get the chicken pot. But it could be dangerous in July. That might not be a good mix.
Not a good choice.
All right. Who's next? Rikki? Rikki, I think.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the best animal on Kilimanjaro safaris.
Oh, that was easy.
Hey, it may not be. Go, Mike. Go.
The okapi.
Yes.
The ghost of the forest, man. The thing is, like, here's the thing about the okapi. Like, it's like a win either way. So the Jungle Cruise skipper, the Kilimanjaro safari driver, host, I don't know what they're called. They like if you see it, you feel like you won the lottery. Like I see it, it's the ghost of the jungle or the ghost of the forest. He's back at the fence. And you're like, you point. So if you see him, you feel like you won the lottery. You're super excited. If you don't see it, you pretend like you do see it, and the whole Jeep is looking like, dude, that guy up there in the I was inverted shirt, he can see it. Like it's up there. And
where is it? I don't see it.
The mom's showing it to the kid. It's got to be by the.
And then you look so dumb because you can't find it. You're like,
no, you don't.
People are taking a picture of it, but it's not even there.
You see if you can get all 30 people on that Jeep to like swear that they see it. There's nothing there. Like it's back eating lunch. It's not even.
Oh my gosh! No,
the Okapi hasn't been let out for like 3 months.
Yes, he's on vacation in Boca. So yeah, I would say the Okapi. So what about you, Pam?
I think the cheetahs, because first of all, that is the animal that I feel like I see the least.
Yes.
And we have had on occasion the opportunity to see them running, which was spectacular to see. But yeah, you just don't get to see them very often, and it's just kind of sad. So
I will say, so this is I went home to St. Louis back in September, and we went to the St. Louis Zoo because the St. Louis Zoo is the best zoo in the country.
It is.
Come at me. I will tell you, hands down, it is the best zoo in the country. And there were the cheetahs there, and they were like up and awake, and there were, I think, 3 of them. And this person that was behind us, they had a service dog with them, and the service dog, I guess, got spooked or something by the cheetahs or how they were behaving or something, and it started barking at them. And oh my goodness, those cheetahs were on high alert, man. I thought they were going to jump. Like, I know that they've done like precautions to keep, the cheetahs from jumping the wall or whatever.
Outrunning them, Rikki, so it doesn't matter at that point. Cheetahs can outrun anybody in this.
Exactly. So I was like, dude, because it's not very often that there's a dog, another that they come across. So like, I thought, dude, that cheetah is coming over. Like that sucker's coming over. I was so terrified, but then also like transfixed because I couldn't move because I was like, let's find out what happens. This is a terrible idea, but let's find out what happens.
I got a story about the St. Louis Zoo real quick because it was kind of similar. We were there. This was probably about 5 or 6 years ago in the summer, right before it was because it closes like at 5 in the evening, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go home. It's Mallory and her friend or something. And like all of a sudden we see like workers from the zoo coming out with guns. Like they have they have like rifles. I'm like, holy God, what's going on? An animal got loose, and I guess they weren't like shooting bullets. I guess they were like tranquilizers.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, I don't even know which way to go because we were like right in the middle of the zoo, and there's
what got loose?
I think it was like a cheetah or something. It was something fast because they all had their walkie-talkies on, so you know how you can hear the walkie-talkies. You have to talk. And I was like, oh, like it was the same thing. Like part of me wanted to stay and be like on the news, like be interviewed. Like, yeah, I saw the elephant loose. Like I saw the cheetah bust by or the orangutan. I didn't know what it was, but then I was like, dude, I can't outrun half of these animals, man. We're out. I was like, we're getting it, and we left. But yeah, they were popping out. Everybody's popping out with like rifles. Holy crap, what's going on? It was.
Oh my God.
So anyway, are you taking the cheetah too, by the way? Because your question.
No, I am not. So I am going with the giraffes because there's just something so cool about the fact that the giraffes can cross in front of you. They can get up next to you. Like they can be right there in your face in a way. Like that is just the coolest thing in the world to me is that you can be that close to a giraffe. And I mean, I've had them right next to me and it's been such a cool experience. So I'm going with giraffe all the way, man. Giraffe.
Tall animals always cool.
Absolutely.
Tall people, always cool.
Yeah, shush.
Okay. All right.
Shorties.
Pam, what do you got? The best.
All right, ready?
Yes.
The best drink when it's really, really hot at the world. When you're like in the parks, you're walking around, you're like, oh my gosh, I am dying. It is so hot. What are you going for?
Rikki, you go first because yours will be different than ours, I bet you.
It is. So I am going with I better be in the Magic Kingdom because it is the Mission to S'mores drink that is at Joffrey's Coffee, the one in Tomorrowland. It's such a great beverage. It's one of those like icy kind of coffees, and it's got the s'mores flavoring to it, and it's so good. I mean, I get it, whenever it's hot out. If I'm not at the Magic Kingdom and can't get the mission to s'mores, then I will go to whatever Joffrey's counter there is and get whatever iced coffee, like frozen thing that they have there. So that's usually what I'm going with. But yeah,
I got two. So at Coronado Springs at their pool bar, they have this awesome like mango margarita, and it looks like candy corn. It's frozen because it's hot, and it looks like candy corn. It's like orange, red, and white, like the three layers. Kind of looks like a candy cornish. It is so good. But if I'm in the parks, Epcot, I get that Fiesta margarita. It's again frozen margarita with the three flavors. I don't think it's the same. I think it's like red, orange, and green or something. I don't know, but frozen margarita is solid all the time. Gets the job done anywhere, and then you can find them most places. Alfred says the same. Pam, what about you?
So that's funny. I'm not picking an alcoholic drink. I know people are like, what?
Yeah,
I know. When it's hot though, and I'm feeling like I really want something refreshing, I'm going to go with something different. And I am picking, okay, I have two too. I like just the regular cappuccino icy that they have in a few different places. You can see it actually spinning in the machine. Yep. I don't know what it is. It's probably fake as heck. Because it really doesn't taste like any cappuccino I've ever had.
No.
But anyways, I like that. And then I also really like the Starbucks refreshers.
Yeah.
Although
basic.
I know it is so basic, except that I am going to start. I need to buy some kind of website so I can do this. You know how I buy dumb websites when stuff go away. I need the Cool Lime refresher back.
I know you do.
What the heck? Rikki said it's because of the limes. They can't get the dehydrated limes. You can go to Costco and get a great big bag of limes. It's like under $10. Cut those up and freeze dry them. I know you got to be able to do that. Come on, Starbucks, help me out.
Sorry.
So speaking of that, though, I heard this morning on the news radio station I listen to, the AM station, when I'm getting ready. Not limes, but avocados up 60% in price because of the quarantine. People are having a lot of guacamole and avocado apparently.
Interesting.
Wow.
No,
I
I've been eating a lot of guacamole because we've been getting Mexican takeout.
Nice.
Just once a week. That help. Joanne says iced coffee, and Crystal says night blossom in pain.
I think Joanne was throwing up about iced coffee, so she was not.
She doesn't like the iced coffee.
She doesn't. Okay, well, because I can't see the little
the emojis.
No. I'm throwing up about iced coffee, so
yeah, she doesn't like it. And Miss K in Vancouver says Starbucks pink drink.
Nice.
Yes.
Stay clear of the Starbucks; they're too expensive. Anyway, okay, here's
you can use a snack credit, my friend, and you can get the biggest one.
No, right. I'm getting something chocolate.
You can get that Trenta.
No, see, that's the thing too. Like I'm too Joe, just regular guy to order something in Starbucks. I just be like, I need a medium coffee. And
let me clue you in on something, Mike. Joe regular goes to Starbucks at this point.
No, you gotta know the lingo. You gotta know the lingo.
No, you don't, because Steve won't say it. He refuses.
I just need a medium black coffee. You don't need to be calling it a Trenti, venti, tall.
You don't even drink coffee.
I know. That's why I don't go there.
Exactly. You should try the refresher. It's so worth it.
Losing Pam on the video. She's going dark.
I know. I know. The sun is like streaming in. I think that people don't believe me when they say they live in a cloudy location because when I'm on at this time of day, but apparently it's like, look, if I'm here or here.
In this case, husband's the same way. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Joanne apparently has an avocado tree, so we'll be down and guard that thing. Yeah. It's a gold mine.
No kidding.
Right, here's mine. The best seat in the rocket on Space Mountain. Front, middle, or back? I'm talking like, I got the 3 slots.
Yes.
So where's your preferred spot to ride Space Mountain? 1, 2, or 3? Front, middle, or back?
Oh, hands down. Hands down. Front. You got to do the front row and you got to be in the front seat. So yes, like the very front seat of the whole thing, you got to be in definitely.
Yeah. Front
No
seat,
other way.
man. What about you?
I say front too. That was actually what I was going to say. Front. It gives you a little extra leg room, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in your own little space.
That's it. That's why it's the trifecta. Front,
Yeah.
sure. It doesn't matter. Even if you're in the second car, like the second, like, you know, I think it has 6 slots, like per
Yes.
the rocket.
Yes.
So the back, you know, 3, it's still for somebody it's 6'3", dude. When I get the 4 seat or the 5, the middle or the back, man, my knees are like jammed. I have to, and I know people think I want the front seat because it's like the coolest spot. It is. I get that. But I mean, that should be reserved for people 6 feet and over. Like, sorry, everybody else. You got to fill up the other, you know, seats for us because it's uncomfortable when you're tall if you're not in seat 1.
I get it.
Betsy says the back, and the back does give you more like the whiplash kind of thing.
It
You know,
does.
the whipping around, but
Yeah, I think my brain gets jiggled too much in the back.
it does. I know. Space Mountain in general jiggles.
Oh my gosh.
I love that ride, but every time I get back, I'm like, oh, hope I can survive and get.
I'm afraid I might get a brainstem injury one time because my brain jiggles around.
Probably when I start this podcast is when it happens.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah,
Hey, it's a good idea. Let's start a podcast. Yeah.
Carrie says front row, front seat with sunglasses on. I don't know what the
Nice.
sunglasses have to do with anything because dark.
They make it darker.
I guess.
They
Yeah.
make it darker. No, see, I'm telling you, the coolest experience I've had on Space Mountain, because I've experienced all the different versions now that they have, with at least at the Magic Kingdom version. The coolest one that I had was when they did the flashing lights at Christmas and it was lit up in white and you could see the entire track while you were in there and it would like flashlight and then dark and then flashlight and then dark. It was so cool. I did it completely in the dark at Halloween, which was also awesome, and I think I screamed more than I've ever screamed in my entire life, but definitely the coolest experience was when the lights were like completely flashing and I could see the track and where I was going. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever.
I have a hack for everybody if they want to experience the Halloween version.
Yes.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
No, it's real practical. All right, give us one more. We got a few more minutes. Go ahead, give us another the best.
All right. So, usually people ask what's the best World Showcase, pavilion, right? I'm not going to go there. I'm going to ask what the best Future World pavilion is. Because that usually doesn't get asked very often. So, all right, Mike.
Oh, it's got to be the land, right? I mean, you got Sunshine Seasons with a whoopie pie. You got some Chinese food. You have Soarin'. Actually, that new movie's pretty sweet.
It is awesome. Awesome planet.
I did kind of like that. And it's still got the 70s type vibe. Not 70s because it wasn't around the 70s, but it's got that early 80s type vibe still in it.
Yes.
Like, I like that it's retro. I'm all about retro, but it's got a e-ticket attraction, a movie, place to eat. And it's got a restaurant, a sit-down restaurant that rotates.
It does.
You gotta love.
You got living with the land.
I took Pam, my wife, not Forrester, on our first date to a rotating restaurant in St. Louis.
That would be weird if we had dated prior to.
Can you imagine how awkward that is? I know people like.
But Pam and Steve are probably the two people who'd be like, "Yeah, whatever. You can do a podcast with your ex. I don't care."
Oh, seriously. As long as you're out of my hair for 2 hours every week.
They're both like, whatever. Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
It's fine. Go be with your ex. It's fine.
During quarantine, she keeps asking me, aren't you doing that 12-hour show today? I'm like, no. Can't you please just do it just for fun? Oh, no.
Look, we're starting rumors now. Mike and Pam dated.
That was funny.
All right, so I took the land.
right.
Pam, what are you taking?
The land is the right answer. Is there another answer? Like,
No.
what could I don't think any other pavilion is really a pavilion anymore, where it has unless you're I guess imagination, and that ship has sailed.
The Seas is an actual pavilion and test track, kind of. And then,
what else is that test track besides test track, though?
oh, that's true.
Store,
I mean,
the
the
store.
store.
So the only ones that still are.
Store.
Yeah, that's true. You
And
can't
Mission
count the
Space still has the
stores.
store. Yeah, exactly.
You can't just count the store. Yeah, so you really only have when I think of a pavilion, I want there to be a a few
agree.
things going on. So the land really is the answer.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, real quick. Second best pavilion in Future
Okay.
World. Real quick, one time around.
Hang on, I'm gonna go with the reason I picked the land though, real quick, is because I legit have spent an entire day in the land pavilion.
Agreed.
Like,
Yes.
I just haven't left.
Especially when weather's bad and you're like, yeah, I'm not going out in that. Never mind. We'll find something else to do here.
I ate lunch in the land. I ate dinner in the land. I went to Garden Grill for dinner. Lunch at Sunshine Seasons. I did Soren. I mean,
in there all day. It'd be fine.
Yeah, I did. I legit. There's a joke. My brother and I will send each other on the day of. When it pops up on Facebook and it's like, on this day, remember that day we spent the whole day at the land? Yes, because we did. We actually spent the whole day at the land.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it happened. Second best. I think I'm gonna go with the seas.
Seas, yep.
Yeah, you've got you do have the attraction there. You do have the live animals in the fact of the manatees, and it's a double pavilion in the sense of like there's two floors.
Plus you have the restaurant. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
The restaurant.
Does anybody ever remember Coral Reef ever?
I mean, no. I've eaten there once.
It had carpet on the wall too. It has carpet on the wall too.
Yes.
I love that. That's why I love that.
That needs to be a trivia question. Pavilions in Epcot that have carpet on the walls.
No,
exactly. Yes. So yeah, there's no second answer. It's got to be the seas. So
you agree? Okay. And Carrie said real quick. Carrie says back in the day, though, imagination was wonderful.
It was.
Story
it
aired.
was. You're right. Was. It really was. But that was a long time ago.
But she's not complaining because she gets her DVC lounge where she
yeah, see, that's nice. I don't get the DVC lounge there.
All right, Pam, you got the last best.
I do. So this is why I didn't answer with my alcoholic drink for my question.
Got it.
What is the best drink in the world when you need a drink? Like a drink, I'm saying. We're all going to need after the quarantining.
That's valid. That's valid. So, Pam, is milk not an option for me?
Not an option, no. We would have to have some kind of alcohol. I can tell you what your answer should be, Rikki. But
yes, I'm just saying, bartenders at Walt Disney World will definitely be essential employees.
I don't understand how they're not right now.
Got it. So I can't choose milk. Okay, I actually do have an answer though. So
I know. Mike, go with yours.
My favorite's gone though. It was the margarita flight at
oh yeah.
We would get everybody at the table would get those.
I know.
Not the tray because it was 6 per person. We'd order like 6 of them, so it was like 36 little shots.
It took up the whole table. There was no room to put food down, so you had to drink it real quick before your food came.
And then, because then the reason I like that when I wanted to go have a drink, I get the flight because we'd always get the flight and then we'd always end up getting the mango margarita because that was always everybody's
favorite. Right. Because that's your favorite.
Because that ended up, but you would, try, it was like a little, taste test.
You got to at least pretend.
Yeah, totally. That was my favorite, but it's gone now. So sad.
Yeah.
So that is sad.
So the frozen margarita.
Sad days.
I'm not picky. All right.
You can have them bring it back.
They need to. All right, Rikki, what are you getting?
Okay.
I can pick for you, I guess. I don't know.
No. I actually do have one, which you wouldn't think that I would, right? But I do. It is only available at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and I found it last year, and we went to the Food and Wine Festival twice, actually, in that time period. I got it both times. That's how much I liked it.
I remember. This is what I was going to say for you.
I don't drink, so that tells you something. Like, I legit got this twice, and this is the only alcohol I've basically had in, like, the entire year. So it's the Twinings Pumpkin Chai Tea and chocolate shake. Like, it's a weird frozen cocktail of, like, pumpkin chai, tea, frozen, and then it has caramel vodka on top, and it's so flippin' good.
Fancy.
I know, it's so good though. Like, it's delicious, and yeah, it's this mix of like chocolate and pumpkin chai tea and caramel vodka, and it's a really flippin' good. So yeah,
yes.
That's my drink.
Agree.
That's my drink.
Seal of approval right there.
It does.
All right, so I'm going to Geyser Point. Although I have drinks all over the place that I like. I'm going to Geyser Point for this one. And this is one that when you look in the app, it typically isn't listed. But when you go there, it's on the menu. I don't know why it's not listed on the app. Was it just an oversight? Could it be going away? If it's going away, I'm going to have words with somebody.
Secret menu.
Right. But the one I like is the Olympic Mountain Mule.
Oh.
And I know it's kind of a weird one because It has like rum in it, which isn't typical for a mule, and some other things, like cane syrup and things like that. But the thing that I like about it is it has this smoky like liqueur that's also in there, and rosemary. So it's really kind of a unique drink. It's not that sweet, and I think that's why some people don't like it, because I don't think like Hannah's like a huge fan of it and things like that. But I love it, and it's something I always order when I go there. I just really, really like it. It's so good.
And Elise, as we wrap this up, she says Mexican sangria of any kind. And then
Nice.
Miss K up in Vancouver.
That's a good answer.
Moonshine Homecoming. And I'll just say I've had that. It was like jet fuel. That stuff was
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have all kinds of flavors, though. They have like pineapple and yeah, it's so good. They're so good.
smoking.
Yeah.
I'd take it right now though. So we'll be back.
This was fun. This was stupid. Stupid
It was
fun
so
thing.
stupid, but so fun. Yes.
So we're gonna do this tonight on Facebook. So it'll be even more fun. It's happy hour Friday night. So bring your drink. Join us at 8:00 Eastern.
There you go.
On Facebook. You call in with your topic. I'll answer. The next caller has to answer before they give their topic. Have a good time.
That's too
Maybe
funny.
Pam or Rikki will drop in. We'll see what we can do. We'll get it working, Alfred. We'll get it done. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a few minutes. Today's show brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. So when it comes time for that next Disney adventure, and don't forget, adventure is out there and it's going to happen. Get that next vacation on the books. Drop by the magicforless.com. Check out all the great trip planning tools. See what you want to do, and then secure that next vacation. You have something to dream about and look forward to. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra. And every purchase does help everything we do here on the show. So please bookmark it and use it as often as you can. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Give us a follow on the social media, Instagram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike, and Facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. All right, we're going to get out of here, and we'll be together this weekend each night on Facebook. So join us there. And of course, we'll have another trip report on the feed here on Monday. So for Pam and Rikki, I'm Mike telling you to stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Yay. Thanks everybody for hanging.
That was too funny.
That was kind
That's awesome, actually.
That was really cool because it's off the wall. That was hilarious.
Yes. That was awesome.
Who cares what seat you sit in on Space Mountain?
There are people who care, Mike. There are people who care.
Well, I mean, everybody was right though, and you're right about the land. That's totally right too.
No, it's totally the right answer. Yes.
All right. Well, you guys have a good
All
day.
right. You
Now we'll
too.
see you
All right.
soon. Listeners,
Bye,
be safe.
folks.
See you
Bye,
guys.
y'all.
Bye. Gotta find the button.